What is your name?
Marcus Allen Gilbert.
What is your job title?
Principal Systems Dev Engineer, Amazon/Ring.
What does your job entail?
So I function as a systems engineer. So what I do is I figure out which types of electrical chips go into our products. For example, there's this product called the Ring stick-up cam. So I picked the video processor, the microcontroller, and the Wi-Fi chip that went into that design. So what I have to do is I have to research companies and interview companies to see what technologies they have, and also talk to our product managers to figure out what we need to build. So having those two input sources, I figure out what we can design with. And so I put those together, and then eventually out pops a design like this.
Where did you go to college?
I went to MIT in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And I got a bachelor's and master of engineering degree.
How did you get into your field?
So when I was young, I realized that I wanted to be an engineer. I like to take things apart, and sometimes I could actually put them back together. I also like to watch a lot of science shows about how things are made, how you put things together, things about that nature. So I knew that I wanted to be an engineer. I just didn't know exactly what type of engineer I wanted to be. So after a little while going through high school, I realized that I really liked computers and I really liked electrical engineering. So what I focused on at MIT was electrical engineering and computer science with a focus on computer architecture. And computer architecture is what I use now to figure out which types of electrical chips need to go on our devices.
What were the educational and experience requirements?
So in the position that I am now, a principal engineer, usually you have to have at least 10 years of experience in the field. They're looking for a master's degree or a PhD equivalent level of experience. That's what I have now. But remember, I was in high school at some time ago, so I had to get to this point. So a couple of the things that I had to do to get to this point. One was I went beyond just getting a bachelor's degree, and I focused on getting a master's degree. The primary difference being when you go to grad school, you can really focus on what you want to know. So remember I said I didn't quite know what engineer I wanted to be. So in grad school, I really got to focus on being a computer architecture engineer.
What do you like about your job?
So my job has a lot of freedom and flexibility on figuring out what it is that's important about what I need to do next. So there's a lot of flexibility in it. The other thing I like about my job, and more important, Amazon, is that Amazon is willing to take risks. So when we came up with this camera design, we were working with a new company. We had a new design that we hadn't done before. We were heavily cost driven. There were a lot of constraints, but there was a lot of freedom to make decisions, and we were allowed to take risks. So that's something that I really like about my job, is that we're able to try and do new things.
How can our scholars enter your field?
So what I would say for the Green Scholars Program is you really want to focus on your high school grades, in particular the math and sciences, and make sure you're really strong with those. And then when you get into college, you can start thinking about if you want to be an engineer, if you want to be a scientist, things of that nature. Then once you become an engineer or a scientist and you graduate, getting a job in one of those technical fields with one of the companies and getting several years of experience in that, and then that will allow you to get the position that I'm in. But what I would say to you is you need to be very true to yourself, meaning you have to like what you're doing. I have several friends in college that started in engineering, but they've gone to many other things. For example, one is a director of TV shows, for example. But that's what he liked to do. It's very important that you do something that you like to do, not just because of the fame or money or other. It has to be something that you really like to do.
Any final advice for those in high school or college?
Be patient. Things don't come all at once. I know we live in a society where, it seems like we can just have everything and get everything. Maybe during this event of the coronavirus, maybe some of you will think and really appreciate things that are valuable to you. Spending time with your family, doing things that you enjoy that involve other people that are actually close to you. And when you aren't around those people, you are not taking the time that you had for granted, the things that you had for granted. So you need to be patient and persevere and get through high school, and then the rest is up to you. All right, thank you.